All right, we are getting ready to go into our Impact versus Aftershock battle. I am here with Coach Mikey Bruno. This is one of the biggest matches you guys have played in a long time. How are you feeling right now?
We're pretty excited, calm, but we're excited at heart. So it is a big step for us, but we're ready. That's what we're here for. So the reason we play it. So.
Is there any nervousness mixed in with those emotions?
Oh, I'm sure there's people that's nervous. I know I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But it's a big game. We're playing a great team, one of the top teams, so we're excited.
Yeah, you guys have done awesome this weekend. Impact has been playing really well as well. What were some things you talked about last night that you noticed Impact was doing that you got to kind of work against?
They're doing the same thing as pretty much everybody else. It's just how they're going to their spots. We kind of were watching that, is how they're walking, how their demeanor is to get to those spots. See if we could catch them when they're standing there. That's about it that we're looking at.
What do you do any other things in your preparation, like maybe watch Dynasty or another team to see what they're doing and how they're being successful?
Yeah, you always watch the other teams just to see what they're doing and what's working. What Dynasty was doing is working, but they're bottled up, so it's not too much of a secret what they're doing. We just look at, trying to work on like getting the Dave Baines off the field, just the biggest gun out there. We could do that, we'll be okay.
All right, and if you had to predict, do you think these are going to be some long points, or are we going to see some quick, fast points going up on the board?
We're going to let the game dictate that to us, and if it's going to be a slow game, we're going to sit there and make it a slow game. If we get an opening, we're going to take it.
All right, Impact versus Aftershock. It's going to be an awesome match, so don't miss it. Stay tuned.
Thanks.
The 2014 NCPA College Paintball National Championships is back on network television. Hometown powerhouse, the UCF Knights, take on the Huskies of the University of Connecticut. Catch all the action in stunning HD, only on CBS Sports Network. Noon Eastern, Saturday, May 17th.
In August 2013, the Empire All-In sponsorship program was designed by players for the players. This program is set in place to aid the dedicated players and teams in their daily grind to be the best in the world. The grind is something to embrace, as it's never ending. We've all been through it. The work days, scrounging up every last penny for the chance to do what we love. The countless hours spent in the gym, fighting the urge to give up. The never-ending days of practice, planning, plotting, and perfecting your every move. The time away from home in your everyday life. The long flights, layovers, and connections. The sense of belonging, your second family. And the late nights followed by early mornings. Paintball is a sport very few actually understand. It tests your strength, speed, endurance, dedication, passion, heart. The list goes on and on. You know the struggle, but only we understand why we do what we do. Here at Empire, we're players too, and we understand what you go through. That's why new for 2014, we're bringing you the Empire All-In sponsorship program. With gear packages available for all levels, the player now has more options than ever before. In addition to getting the best gear and paint at discounted rates, players will earn a bonus payout in paint contingency for winning their division. As if that's not enough, players will also receive pro player tips and tricks while walking the field, inclusive media coverage, customized jerseys, and VIP access. Take your game to the next level this season with the Empire All-In Sponsorship Program. Are you all in?
Hey guys, I am here with Bart Yakimick in Impact's pit right now. Now you guys are playing really well all weekend long. You won 3, lost 1 against X Factor. Last night, did you watch that game back and figure out what you were doing wrong?
We pretty well knew what happened in the X Factor game right away because we made some mental mistakes. We got greedy. We tried to take some points and we shouldn't have, and we got behind. And on this field, you can't get behind too far. You can get behind 1 point, I think. 2 points is going to be hard.
Talk to me about that mental stability that players need to have. If you get down 2-3 points, does that affect the mental stability and kind of stop you from being able to come back?
Well, it's not letting it get out of hand in the beginning because like I say, you have to be mentally strong right out of the gate. That's why you're seeing the games are so long right now because everybody's buttoned down into a real pocket area that's trying to battle for that 1 point, which means hanging on to stay close. And if it's a 2-1-1 game, then it's a good game. And that's the way this field's playing.
Yeah, well, we are expecting a good match right here between Impact and Aftershock. We've got a little over 2.5 minutes, so stay tuned. You will not want to miss it.
Thank you. Good job.
Thanks.
Edmonton Impact came very close to winning the PSP World title last year, taking second at the World Cup. They then lost 3 of their top players to Houston Heat, and the future was uncertain for Canada's best team. But they went out and picked up veteran Rainey Stanzik from Damage, Snake specialist Danny Park from the Ironman, the versatile Ryan Martin from Top Gun, and Nick Laval, the best player from Upton 187, to help rebuild around their solid core. Impact still fields a few of the best attackers in paintball. Justin Rabikoff and Justin Cornell are 2 of the best front players in the league, and they can play anywhere up front and have found success in the past against the top players in the world. Dave Baines is arguably the best back player ever to pick up a gun, and the Yakmek brothers, Zane and Zach, have emerged in the past few seasons as top flight gunfighters. It may take a few events for Impact to gel and find the game that they need to get back to the top. One of the most dynamic squads in the league, Chicago Aftershock is always a fun team to watch. But though they entertain us with their wild ways, they are also starting to cultivate the refined attack needed to not only stay in the Champions Division, but start moving up the ranks. Carl Markowski's game was flashy, fast, and functional at the last event, and he's an explosive snake-side attacker. Brian McKenna is the team's highest-ranked player, and he had a standout event in Dallas. Leader AJ Lawhead and Rob Velez also turned in consistent performances and are huge assets to the team's push back to greatness. This field layout could be a big boost to off-the-break shooter Chris Sosine, and Kirk Wozni is another fearless player to watch for Shock. This legendary team didn't win many games in Dallas, but they impressed everyone, both peers and fans with their game. And after some much-needed outdoor training time, the PSP Mid-Atlantic Open could see a more favorable outcome for one of the longest-running paintball teams in the world.
Welcome back here, 2014 PSP Mid-Atlantic Open. I'm Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez, and man, if you are able to watch this game, you should be in for a good one. This is Edmonton Impact taking on Chicago Aftershock, and what a great story with Chicago Aftershock, as we just saw there in the scouting report. Chicago Aftershock, Todd, when we were calling one of their games earlier on in this event, you had said, man, Chicago Aftershock so disciplined in their attack, not making any mistakes, and I was like, when 2 years ago did you think that you would be saying that? And that's how awesome the story for Chicago Aftershock has been, because they've kept their main guys together. Rob Velez, Lawhead, they picked up Carl Markowski, who was a dominant player for Excessive and for Infamous, and decided to come back into the game, and that's a huge pickup for them. They also picked up Chris Sosine, coming back from Infamous. He used to play with Shock, and then Brian McKenna has stepped up for them too. So they have a really strong lineup. They're playing an Edmonton Impact team that we saw in the scouting report. It just, you know, they have a really awesome core. The Yakmek brothers have really become top flight players in their own rights, and Joshua Met's a great attacker. And then they have Justin Rabikoff, Dave Baines. They got it. It's just, this is going to be a battle, Todd.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how these teams are going to break out here. Standing a lot of bodies in the back center.
It looks like Edmonton Impact loses a body. Rob Velez gets shot as well. Lawhead coming off for Chicago Aftershock, so 2 bodies drop early for Shock. Little advantage here for Edmonton Impact as they have 4 bodies alive. Aftershock just 3.
So Aftershock got Chris Sosine still alive. Karl Markowski was able to make it over to the Snakeside Temple. Looks like Justin Rabikoff stayed over towards the Dorito side a little bit longer on that breakout and shot on the inside. Oh, Dave Baines goes down.
Oh, so does Justin Rabikoff. So these are big kills out of the bunker right now for Chicago Aftershock. Amazing gunfights right now for them, killing 2 awesome players in Dave Baines and Justin Rabikoff. So only 2 left alive. It's the Yakmek brothers for Edmonton Impact.
Wow. I'm not sure who shot those guys. Dave Baines, I think he might have got shot by Karl Markowski. Yeah, Karl Markowski popped up over the top, put one in on Dave Baines, and now he's going to break out to the Snakeside corner. So when it looked like Impact had got a good advantage off the break, Aftershock fighting back right away. And now just 2 bodies left alive for Edmonton Impact as Zach Yakimek's going to bust out here. It's just the Yakimek brothers. Now in the Snakeside Temple is Zach Zane over there in the Dorito side tower. As Aftershock has a little bit of a field spread now. It's Chris Sosine coming across into the Snakeside can, and McKenna bumping out to the Dorito 1. So let's see if the Yakimek brothers can fend off these 3 Aftershock players as Karl Markowski goes from the Snake corner on into Snake 1.
So Karl Markowski in good position, spreading the field. On the flip side, Brian McKenna has the D side, and he's going to have to start moving into Zach Yakmek's gun. Chris Sosine in that center for Shock. Oh, looks like Sosine dipped a shot in on Zach Yakmek, which leaves just Zane. Zane's going to dig out to the back corner bunker and dive into the mud and try to get out. He does. So they need to make sure Karl Markowski and the rest of the crew needs to make sure they pick that up, and it doesn't matter as looks like Edmonton Impact will concede the point. So the first strike goes to Chicago Aftershock. They're going to go up 1-0 here.
Yeah, Karl Markowski, you know, he's got wheels. They lost bodies early, but you know, getting that shot in on Dave Baines was huge. And, you know, Brian McKenna stepping up. Chris Sosine getting a couple kills for Chicago Aftershock. And Aftershock going to take that early 1-0 lead. Here's the pit for Edmonton Impact.
So they're talking it over right now. Let's listen in real quick. Yeah, so that's Zach Yakmek directly center on your screen, the big Dave Baines. Look at how many pods Dave Baines has on his back. 14 pods. Looks like Dave Baines is carrying 14 pods out there. My God. He's a straight paintball armory on his back.
And he's going to try and shoot it all every point if he can. So, I mean, so on that breakout, Justin Rabikoff, you know, who's been going up to that Snakeside can shooting across, he came all the way over to the Dorito side of the flag station. I think he shot a line straight on the inside of that Snakeside can where he was going, and you know, actually able to pick up a couple inside guys off of Chicago Aftershock right away. So gave them that early advantage, but Aftershock, you know, fighting back, getting 2 kills really quickly right there, getting Justin Rabikoff and Dave Baines able to get that body advantage back and then slowly move up the field, work them out.
So the question then, Todd, is what does Edmonton Impact need to do here specifically on this point? Do you think they're just, I mean, it's not, both these teams don't have diverse attacks. They can't. On this field layout particularly, they're going to be flipping your gun around. I think it's going to come down to the same thing came down in these other games earlier on. Off the break kills and then winning gunfights, just like Chicago Aftershock was able to do. Karl Markowski, big move, rolls over and is able to make it into that defensive position there up there in the center.
Wow, Karl Markowski. Karl Markowski does get alive into that wing over there, and Rob Velez gets shot on the break again, getting picked up. Justin Cornell comes up to that can in the middle of the field, and Dave Baines gonna lock off that snake side. He's pounding in on Carl Markowski, but A.J. Lawhead getting out alive this time.
Well, let's see. Todd, let's see if Impact can actually spread the field out on that D side of the field. They have two in that stand-up temple again. Justin Rabakoff and Justin Cornell up in the center. Cornell a little bit farther up. Now looks like 3 guns towards the D side. No one really over there for Shock, though. Shock locked in the pocket. They have Carl Markowski up in the center, along with A.J. Lawhead, both of them looking for moves. Carl wants to move to the snake, but he needs to be careful. Dave Baines is shooting that lane. And Dave Baines, like we said, he has 14 pods on his back. So lots of paint is going to be coming Carl Markowski's way pretty much the entire game, unless they can shoot out Dave Baines.
So 5 bodies over there. There goes Rainey Stanzak. He breaks out to the Dorito side. He's able to get into that Dorito 1. Justin Cornell up in that Dorito side can, looking to either come across or attack the X. Chicago Aftershock right now still with those 4 bodies. Zach Yakimek backing up off that snake side temple. He's going to jump into the snake side corner. Carl Markowski picks him up. He's doing a little surgery on his gun right now, trying to get it back together. May have broken a little paint as he dove in, had to roll over to make it into a spot.
Yeah, so the 4 bodies left alive right now for Shock. Rolling the guns real well, except for Carl Markowski squeezing in. Oh, and it looks like Carl Markowski takes one, so Carl Markowski's going to take the walk. And right now, the advantage goes, and another one comes off. So here's Impact's chance. Cornell sprints up into the center 50 structure, and he's going to try to wrap around and cut into the inside part of that fortress. So Shock still 2 bodies, trying to keep Justin Rabakoff from pushing up here, snake side. Rabakoff up over the top of that bunker, shooting at the 2 guys on your screen right now, and you can see how close Cornell is. And so look for a potential run through in the center. This is exactly the setup that Cornell needs to have a cool run through in the center here, Todd.
Yeah, Cornell, he's always looking to launch. A.J. Lawhead trying to look if he can go as well. Justin Cornell now with Chris Sosi gone, he should launch right away, and he's going to trade out with A.J. Lawhead. And that's going to do it.
So tie ball game now. The only body coming off is Justin Cornell, who traded out with the last player left alive, A.J. Lawhead. And it looks like Rainey Stanzik, 2 confirmed for him, 1 for Dave. And team effort right now for Edmonton Impact. Solid work across the board from them. Many players contributing with kills in that last point. 14 minutes and 57 seconds to go as Impact has tied it up. This game brought to you by Empire Paintball and Key Action Sports. So this is the last so this is the last semifinal matchup here before we head into the final games. The Division 4 finals will be coming up, but first let's take a look at how these 2 teams match up here on paper. So Edmonton Impact, more veterans on that team, so you got to give them the edge on paper. But Shock really has, just like they did at the first event, they didn't win a lot of games, and they had to play in a relegation game at the first event. But this one also, it was a close battle for Shock. But they were able to do it, man. They snuck in, and they earned the right to play in the semifinal matchup against Impact. So, how you start moving those bars, Todd, a little bit farther down is you start performing in big games.
Yeah, and finally getting these opportunities here. 14:57 left to go. 1-1 game. We'll be right back after these messages.
Being confident on the field is key in being successful. Every snapshot, every lane, every gun battle, it all matters. Having equipment that allows me to play confident in the best of my abilities is huge. The spacing and texture of the Vanquish grips are ideal for handling in every situation. It's a soft shooting, hit every shot you take kind of marker. My name is Drew Templeton. I play for Team Infamous, and the Vanquish takes my game to another level.
Looks like a timeout has been called. And Aftershock calling a timeout here. A fierce Mikey Bruno understands how important this game is to the franchise that he has helped guide forward here and make it finally back into the top level of the of this division. Shock was playing to get knocked down, or I'm sorry, to preserve the right, or maybe get knocked down. But now all of a sudden they're playing in the semifinals.
Yeah,
huge for them.
It's taken a lot of time, a lot of work, and they've had those players that were working together trying to build this team back up, and then getting those solid pickups like Chris Sosin And Carl Markowski has definitely been huge for them. So, you know, a lot more solid, a lot more well-rounded team, and then other players stepping up. Lawhead, you know, he's always been solid for them. And then Velez, you know, I remember Velez as a rookie coming up, and now, you know, he's been a starter. He stays on the field when he's playing well for them. And McKenna, you know, the Canadian, you know, coming down, playing huge for them. So, you know, they definitely have a solid roster of players, and, you know, the more they play together, the better they get. And, you know, always keeping a good positive attitude and trying to get better, and then having a little fire, a little spark out of Mikey Bruno, you know, and some experiences, you know, really brought this team together.
Yeah, so here we go. It looks like about 41 seconds before the start of this next point. Tie game right now, 1-1. Justin Rabakoff, the kill count leader in this matchup, 3 confirmed for him and 2 points. So, you know, that's not surprising from Justin Rabakoff. He's always seems to be in the, you know, top 10 for the kill count, regardless of what the field layout looks like or who he's playing with. Justin Rabakoff is definitely a killer. Rainey Stanzik getting 2 confirmed as well for his new team. Rainey really happy with Edmonton Impact, and Impact actually went to the Millennium Series in Europe and won the first event over there, and that's that tried and tested way. You know, if you got a big level, big high professional team here in the States, and if you can get over to Europe, man, and win some tournaments over there, it really helps you when you come and play against the hardest division of paintball on this planet. So here we go. Can Shock live off the break and make it into position? That's been the problem.
Yeah, it looks like Nick Laval getting out there for the first time, gets shot, trying to come wide on the snake side of the field. So instant advantage for Chicago Aftershock as they're able to keep 5 bodies alive and keep Edmonton Impact on the inside. Here comes AJ Lawhead. He's going to dive up into that A right away and look to go to work underneath, see if he can get a shot in on Justin Rabakoff playing on the inside. Carl Markowski, he's going to come up and across into the wing. Might have taken a bouncer. Takes a bouncer going in, but he's still alive. Justin Cornell going to have to respect him. If Rabakoff or Cornell looks to make a bump across, I'm not sure if they know that AJ Lawhead has got into that A. And Velez makes it out alive for the first time over here for Chicago Aftershock. You know, he's been doing a really good job all event of staying alive and really shooting his gun. And the biggest thing for Aftershock that you develop when you play together for a really long time is communication. When you make it a point to get better at talking and letting all your teammates know what's going on the field, you can make better decisions. And Velez really doing a good job of that for Chicago Aftershock.
And there, Todd, you can see on the screen there, look at Lawhead underneath that A, that center 50 fortress, and he's trying to get a shot on that man right there, Justin Rabakoff. You can see he's waiting for Justin to peek around. Justin have to play a little bit more, a little tighter there because of Lawhead. Oh, and Lawhead catches one though, so Justin Rabakoff comes around and takes out Lawhead, and Lawhead catches a couple extra walking off. So that's a big death for Chicago Aftershock, and that is going to even it up here at 4 bodies each.
Yeah, Lawhead, you know, he has easily been their best player for a long time. Carl Markowski getting shot out of that wing. So after taking the early advantage, Justin Cornell going to now jump into the A for Edmonton Impact. And 3 bodies left alive. Cornell going to play around the outside of that A. See if he can get a shot in on Velez. Rainey Stanzak coming up, filling in behind Justin Cornell. He's going to take over the duties in that inside can. Lock off the Dorito side. Aftershock going to have to win some battles. Here comes Chris Sosine. He's going to attack the A.
Dude, Justin Cornell is feasting, right? Oh, no, I thought for a second he got a shot on Sosine. The referee going to run in there and pull him out. So Chris Sosine does get taken out. And I was going to say, man, if he got shot, and it's going to be a minor penalty, which is going to take another one out. Just 1 player left alive. And it is Brian McKenna. No, Rob Velez. Rob Velez gets a shot in on Cornell as Cornell gets across the 50-yard line before Rabakoff takes him out. And that point is going to go to Edmonton Impact. So Chris Sosine getting that minor, but it looks like that point is going to come off the board, or that penalty will come off the board.
Yeah, and so, you know, starting 5-on-5 again, just that minor. But Edmonton Impact now with the 2-1 lead 12 minutes ago. Both these teams, you know, playing really smart paintball. You know, let's talk about punch, counter punch. And Edmonton Impact right now, at that point, did a good job of, you know, being down bodies. But after they got AJ Lawhead out, making smart moves up the field. Here's take a look at Aftershock's pit. There's Davey Simmons, Kirk Wozni,
Yeah, and wondering who's going to win that Empire Vanquish that's at stake in the fantasy. My team's doing okay. I got some guys that are doing good, some guys that aren't. But we'll be right back. 12-12 to go. Stick around. Chicago Aftershock getting ready to play this next point here, looking in their pits. With 12-12 on the clock, no penalties right now on the board for either team. So after that minor from Chris Sosine, which, you know, with minors, they come off the board, so not nearly as disastrous as those major penalties, and both of these teams are going to have to try to play as clean as possible. And, you know, hey, man, penalties are going to come. Don't be surprised if you see some penalties out there in this big, important matchup. Karl Markowski, Todd used to do that, run real fast and dive into snake off the break.
Yes.
So Karl Markowski able to make it through a lane there, heavy guns, and that's huge because now this is really going to put Impact in a tough spot. They have all these players stuck in the back bunkers right now, and Karl Markowski's been able to get out wide into snake one. So let's see if Karl Markowski can get a shot there. There's 3 players for Impact in that back center temple. No one out on the D side. Oh, now D side move made, but he goes into a gun and gets taken out. And then Impact is able to make it out wide. That was huge. Able to spread the field, get out to the back bunker on the D side of the field and makes it in clean. 5 players alive still for Edmonton Impact. Brian McKenna got shot by Justin Rabikoff. Karl Markowski backs up off the snake into snake 1 now. 4 bodies still alive for Shock. 11:20 to go.
That's going to be 1 down for Edmonton Impact as Zach Yakimek just got shot in the front of the gun.
But so does Dave Baines. Dave Baines comes off too.
Or I'm sorry, Nick Laval right there.
Well, let's check in with Lauren real quick.
Hey guys, I just wanted to let you know that Zach Yakimek is actually injured right now. He fell on his shoulder wrong. I just talked to Bart, and they're going to try to ice it for a few minutes and see if he can go back in. But right now, he's definitely looking like he's in a little pain. Back to you.
Well, that's an unfortunate turn of events because Zach has become such a great gunfighter for Impact, and they really need his gun out here as Aftershock is not going to stop pushing forward. Smart aggression has definitely won the day for Shock and allowed them to make it to the semifinals. So 4-on-4 right now as Dave Baines got shot by Karl Markowski. Lawhead makes his move up into the center 50 Fortress, and that is going to help out as he wraps around and gets a shot on Justin Rabikoff. Nice job by AJ Lawhead. And let's see, and then it looks like can Aftershock continue this push forward as Laval dips out wide. Is that Rainey or Laval?
That's Laval.
Yeah, it is Laval. So Laval getting his spin here for his new team, Impact, and is able to get out wide. That's going to help slow this down a little bit. Put a little wrench in the attack for Chicago Aftershock now that Impact has spread the field, but 2 bodies have come off for them so far.
Yeah, still 4 alive, though, for Chicago Aftershock. Sosine and Velez, you know, really battling hard on those cross-field shots. Karl Markowski also putting pressure on Josh Lamette over there in that Dorito side corner. Zane Yakimek, the last body in that Dorito side tower, he's focused on Karl Markowski. So Yakimek now head checking. Karl Markowski backing up to the back of snake 1. AJ Lawhead probing in the middle.
Velez is out of paint, Todd. Velez is completely out of paint. He might want to get with Sosine. Looks like Sosa has a bunch of pods still on his back.
Just as you say that, Velez reaches back and comes up empty.
Velez checked his front pockets too. I think he even grabbed his junk for a second as well. Just to see, man.
See if there's one in his earlobe.
Yeah, Velez completely out of paint. Karl Markowski, yeah, so Velez gets a pod. Nice toss from Chris Sosine there. That's going to get Velez back in the fight. He needs to not blow through that pod, and Velez might want to think about start moving up here. If he's completely out of paint, he's not going to be as effective just trying to dink someone out, because with the lead, the short little lead that Impact has, they're only up 1. But Velez cannot blow through the only pod that he has. He needs to get more paint from Chris Sosine, come over with Karl Markowski, or move up the field, because he can't just keep railing through that pod from that back stand-up.
I think the move for him might even be to come across. Oh, it looks like he just got
gets
shot. Yeah.
Velez dropping the ball here, so Velez kind of losing it a little bit here mentally in that spot. Ran out of paint, got a pod, started rolling his gun, but then got shot way cross field, a coast-to-coast shot from Edmonton Impact to even up the body count, so that's a bad death for Velez.
And Markowski now playing that whole 50 snake, looking for shots across the field, as he is just going to get pounded right now. Chris Sosine, he's finally going to make that bump out wide, gets into the Dorito one.
Markowski almost shot Laval. Laval to swing his gun back in quickly to avoid that shot from Markowski. Markowski is now zoned up on Laval, who's on the dead center of your screen right now and stuck in behind this bunker. So those bunkers get real small when those players move up the field. So no one's shooting at Carl right now, Todd.
No, Carl, he's trying to get that wrap shot. Laval just tucked all the way in.
Well, he's a little tunnel visioned on the shot because there's no one shooting at him. He might have been able to move up. I mean, now finally Edmonton Impact puts a gun, lets Joshua Met way back on that Dorito side of the field, finally puts his gun in. Still, now no one's looking at Carl. See?
Oh, and Zane Yakimek just got shot in the side of the goggles. Does the super slow walk off. I think Chris Sosine might have shot him around the outside. Nick Laval tries to make a bump to the corner, and
I think he just got shot in the pack. Well, and then Wamet gets shot, and it's just Nick Laval back corner bunker here. So, you know, so Carl did a great job to get to this 50 snake. I don't know if he was having gun issues or what the deal was, but, you know, he got in this spot, and for a while, Todd, no one was shooting at him. So he goes back and watches this tape. Needs to kind of have a little bit more spidey sense there as far as, you know, what the incoming pressure is like and what he can and can't do. Normally, he's really good at that. So, but still, I don't want to take anything away from him. Nice job by Lawhead, Chris Sosine, and Carl Markowski. And it looks like Carl Markowski shot Dave Baines early, and then Lawhead and Sosine went to work, taking out the rest of the players for Edmonton Impact. We got ourselves a tie game now, Todd, and a lot of time came off in that long point. 6 minutes and 42 seconds left. As we're looking into the pits, there's Dave Baines getting ready to roll with his 14 pods, and we're going to be right back after this message.
Yeah, I think the actually made a good shot to meet you right now. Hey, with goggles, okay, hey, Nick.
Danny Park, the pickup from Los Angeles Ironman, was there on your screen in the pits. We haven't seen much out of Danny Park, Todd, but this isn't really a Danny Park field because this snake is very difficult. This is a tactical, methodical snake. Danny Park is a wrecking ball of a front guy. He's the guy you want on that ladder snake where you just have to get down it and gunfight your way through instead of have to really, you know, play that super slow, methodical game. Yeah. Still, though, Danny Park, I think, is a big pickup for them, and he definitely helps bolster their attack.
He is. It's just tough. You know, it's tough sometimes when, you know, you're taught to attack, and then it's like, whoa, pump the brakes, slow down. You know, you pick up those guys because they're just hard attackers, and that's what you need out of them. But out here, you need guys that can play super slow and smart, and it looks like Zach Yakimek is able to get back in the game. He's over here with Justin Rabikoff.
Lawhead coming off. Lawhead, 4 confirmed kills for him in this match, but he gets shot by Dave Baines. So 5 players left alive for Impact and 4 for Aftershock, and that's a huge death from Lawhead because with these long points here, you know, I mean, this point could go all the way. We could see a tie. You never know, man. I mean, it totally depends on who's able to make it out wide and how many bodies drop. 5 bodies alive for Impact, 2 in both back bunkers there in the center. They have pushed, I believe, Justin Cornell up slightly in the center to that stand-up can, and he's wrapping around low in there, shooting towards the snake side, trying to keep Aftershock from moving up. Aftershock has been one of the best teams at constantly getting somebody in the snake, but they do not have Carl Markowski out there right now as he takes a break.
Yeah, getting Kirk Wozni in the game. Carl Markowski, you know, did a lot of work in that 50 snake over here. Maybe Mikey Bruno trying to get some fresh legs with Kirk Wozni. Kirk Wozni, another one of those players that loves to just attack cannonball up the front. You know, needs to understand that he's got to play it a little bit slower out here.
Well,
so
he's looking at the lanes coming from both Zach Yakmek. So Zach Yakmek was able to get back out here on this field even with that shoulder injury. So hope he's okay. Looks like he is. And it looks like, oh, major penalty on Chicago Aftershock. Worst thing that could have happened to them right now. That is not, that's a very unfortunate turn of events for Shock fans. You know, Shock had fought so hard to get to this spot, and now that major penalty right here in this crucial junction in the game when it's tied up and the time is starting to tick off. So let's see if they can fight through and get that body back here. 1 minute and 40 seconds left on that penalty.
yeah, I mean, just.
Oh, they shoot Rainey Stanzik. So that's what they needed in order to try to draw this point out. But Justin Rabikoff just takes that spot that Rainey was in. And still 4 bodies left alive for Impact here. And now Justin Rabikoff's going to try to close this out quick and maintain as much of the power play as possible. Let's see if Rob Velez can catch him. Rob Velez is just out of paint again, though, it looks like, Todd. I think Velez needs to, if Velez is going to stay in that stand-up, he needs to carry more paint. Oh, no, he has 1 more pod, or 2 more pods. No, he's good, but he's going to get run down by Justin Cornell. Beautiful work by Justin Cornell. And Justin Cornell begging for a penalty, so Rob Velez is going to get a spinning penalty, and Aftershock starting to fall apart here in this crucial match.
Well, if that's a major, then time should have ended just right when that happened.
I mean, that's pretty, I mean, yeah, it's still a close game, and who knows what could happen, but you know, that's going to put the percentage of this win highly in Impact's favor with those 2 major penalties. So there's going to be 54 seconds left on the first one, a full 2 minutes on the second one, which means for the majority of this game, let's watch this replay. Here's Justin Cornell coming in, Rob Velez. Rob Velez actually had 2 more pods, so I apologize for yelling at him for not having enough paint. But still, look at this beautiful move by Justin Cornell. Shoots Velez in the back, left-handed, then switches hands, and he's begging for that penalty, and he does get it. Did you see that? Did you see that penalty?
Yeah, I think after Wozni got bunkered, Cornell was a little bit past him, and he kept shooting him. Wozni might have shot him.
So it was on
afterwards.
Wozni?
Yeah, so Wozni is going to get that major penalty.
So 2 minutes on a major penalty, I believe, on Wozni then, and 54 seconds still on that other penalty. And Todd, this is not how it needs to go down for Shock if they want to have a chance to move on to the final game.
No, and that's a perfect example right there of needing your best guys to be able to play every point when possible. You know, Wozni gets 1 point, gets in there and gets a major. So going to be detrimental. 2 majors on the board for Chicago Aftershock. 1 point lead for Impact, 3:43 on the clock. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
This is my home. This isn't just a team. This is my family. This isn't just a sport. This is a way of life. This isn't just a league. This is the MSXL.
So it looks like a timeout has been called for Impact. Interesting that Impact would throw a timeout here instead of Aftershock, who would try to when anytime something crazy like that, like 2 majors, or that's a good time to call a timeout so you can figure out, okay, well, now we only have 3 guys. What are we going to do? It's obviously something that the coaches think about beforehand, but that always changes depending on the layout. So yeah, you will have your standard format of a 3-on-5 play that you run, and you will run those in practice, but still, that being said, depending on what's working, what's been working all tournament long, kind of got to audible every now and then. That's why you need that timeout. But it was Impact that called the timeout. And that's going to give Shock a little bit of time to figure out what they need to do. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Hey there, I am here with Rainey Stanzik in Impact's pit. They are going to go into this next point 2 bodies down. You've been in this game for a while. What are the chances that they'll be able to tie it up or get any points when they have that many bodies down?
I mean, all they got to do is shoot 1 and they could turn it around. So just because they're down 2 bodies, it's not that dramatic on this field. If they get out wide and they shoot one of us, they have a big advantage. So we got to still play smart and not just throw our bodies away.
All right, well, Impact is up 1 point right now, 3-2. We'll see if Aftershock can tie it up.
Well, Rainey is not trying to incur the wrath of the paintball gods by saying they got it in the bag, and they don't. They're only up 1, and there still is 3 minutes and 43 seconds, and he is right. If Shock can, shoot a body here, it'll make it a one body advantage. But still, that being said, Todd, the percentages are weighing heavily in Edmonton Impact's favor right now.
Yeah, and Impact's playing really well too. They're not risking anything on the break, any point. They're doubling up both those spots, sometimes tripling up that Dorito side tower and then charging up to that Dorito side can right away. So fully expect to see that again. 4 bodies stacked heavy over on the Dorito side. Justin Rabikoff shooting across the field.
Oh, and a major penalty on Edmonton Impact. So, yeah, that's another option of what could potentially happen, too. So, lightning strikes over here on Edmonton Impact side. Shock was able to keep those 3 bodies alive. Oh, Lawhead, does he make it out wide? That was a risky play there, but he does spread it out. So that is really going to help things out for Chicago Aftershock. They're going to get a body back in 22 seconds, 3 minutes and 9 seconds to go. And now here comes Big Chris Sosine, tries to make it up to the 50-yard line, and he does, and I don't think that Edmonton Impact has picked him up yet, so he might have the drop on those back players for Edmonton Impact.
Yeah, the guy that he was going to try and get is Zach Yakimek over here in the snake side can, if possible. And Chicago Aftershock about to get 1 body back. They get McKenna out of that. They get McKenna out of the box. So he comes in at the Dorito side tower. There you see Zach Yakimek on your screen right there, number 10, shooting towards the snake side in that snake side can. McKenna and Ginter pushing up the Dorito side for Chicago Aftershock right now. Ginter putting pressure on Zach Yakimek, both Dave Baines and Justin Rabikoff in that Dorito side tower for Impact. 30 seconds before Chicago Aftershock gets Wozni out of the box. And here comes McKenna coming up with Ginter now into Dorito 2. There's number 13.
Oh, God, Todd.
That's Ginter. McKenna behind him.
13 seconds before Shock gets their other body back, and then now they're going to be on the advantage. 23 seconds left before Impact gets their body back. So things are getting very interesting here, but Chris Sosine drops the ball in that center, gets shot out of there, wasn't able to get a kill. So now Shock gets their other body back. So right now Shock has, looks like 3 bodies out, 3 bodies alive. But Impact's going to be at the advantage again here as soon as they get their body out. Now, this is big right here. Can Shock get a shot on Impact? And they do. So it's all tied up on the body count. It's 3-on-3 right now. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it's 4-on-3. Shock was still with 4 bodies alive. 2 on that D side of the field. Can they take advantage here? Minute and 18 seconds left. They got to make something happen. They're down by 1 right now. 3-2 is the score. Impact only has the 3 bodies on the field. These penalties are all gone. Here comes Justin Rabikoff making his move on the D side.
Cliff Ginter over there in Dorito 3. He's still trying to shoot on the inside. McKenna is over there with him. Justin Rabikoff goes on the offensive. He jumps into Dorito 2 for Impact. Less than a minute left to go now. Chicago Aftershock with 4 bodies on 3 of Edmonton Impact, but they are down 1 point. They need to go.
Todd, they're not in position to go. Look at this. Lawhead is not looking at I don't know if he's looking at the clock. He's still on his knee. Lawhead needs to get up a little bit and start looking around and head check. No one's shooting at Lawhead. Okay, now Dave Baines is on him. There. Okay, now he's locked with Dave. He put Dave in. He's got to make the move forward. He makes a cross. He gets into the snake 50. Now the gun's going to shift. Dave has to look at him. He wraps around. Lawhead has a chance here. 22 seconds left. Lawhead has got to get a kill soon. He tries to get the shot cross field on Justin Rabikoff, who tucks in. Not a lot of time left, Todd. Just 14 seconds. He did. He got the shot. Here comes Lawhead.
10 seconds left. Lawhead
gets taken out, but he takes him out. And here it comes. 6 seconds. There's not going to be enough time, Todd.
No, Kirk Wozni stays in the backfield. Dave Baines trades out. Kirk Wozni is alive by himself on the field.
Who was the back player for Shock? Is that Kirk Wozni?
Kirk Wozni came out of the box, did not go get the flag. The rest of his team started attacking, and man, Kirk Wozni needed to look at the clock and start going for that flag.
Kirk Wozni is not going to want to watch the replay of this match because he is going to watch himself not die, but be alive at the end of the semifinal matchup, only down by 1. They got Lawhead over here pulling every possible tool he has out of the bag.
Lawhead dives onto Impact's side of the field, shoots Justin Rabikoff, shoots Zane Yakimek. Dave Baines takes off towards Ginter. All Wozni had to do was be up the field, charging towards that flag. He would have seen Dave Baines and gave himself an opportunity to go and tie this game and to send it to overtime.
So disappointing to watch that. So disappointing because that move was there. That move was definitely there, but Wozni did not pull the trigger. And so, unfortunately for Chicago Aftershock, their storybook ending is not there yet. So, and you can see there, Mike is losing it. Mikey Bruno is losing it right now. Well, he's not losing it, but he's very angry. I'd be incredibly frustrated too. And I don't want to say they had it, but the move was, it was definitely takeable. It's just so frustrating. One of my pet peeves, it's the cardinal sin of paintball. I said it earlier in the prelims. You never, ever, ever, ever be alive, particularly in a big game, when that horn blows. You can't do it. Not when you're down. I don't care how deep you're down. You cannot do that. That's worst case scenario, man.
Yeah, you're either trying to win or you're not. You know, that's the long and the short of it right there. You know, no matter what's happening, you got to know the score. You got to know the clock. It's all about field awareness, know where the bodies are. And when you see your teammates go, you have to play off of that. So Edmonton Impact.
Yeah, Edmonton Impact taking the victory. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you know, it's just one of those things. It's a learning experience for Shock. You know, Wozny's a great talent. Everyone on that team has really proven that that's why they're still around and on that squad. So you know, hey man, Shock they made a great run, very close game here, and man, what a great point by AJ Lawhead pushing forward. So frustrating.
Hey guys, I am here with Zane Yakimek. You guys just won that, but it was so close. What were you thinking when you were in that box and you knew you just threw that advantage away when you had two bodies up on Aftershock?
You know, I mean, they got those two majors there, and we really thought at that point, you know, push JC up the middle. It's gonna, you know, pressure him off that side, keep him out of the Dorito side, and you know, it sucks even more now that whoever gets the penalty doesn't go in the box. So I had to serve it for him. Very tense moment. I was not happy when it happened, but you know, you just gotta have faith in your guys and really hope that they're gonna pull it out.
You were watching those last few moments here from the sidelines. Did you think that Shock was going to have a chance to tie it up?
I think the push was a little too late, just not enough. But you know, having guys like Dave Baines, Zach Yakimek out there for your last points, you always got to have faith in your own guys, and I knew we had it. Just had to push forward and keep them from coming down.
Your brother got hurt during that match. He hurt his shoulder. Is he going to be okay going into the finals?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, first time in the finals this year, so he'll be fine. He's going to play through it for sure.
Awesome. Well, you've seen how Dynasty has been playing all day, so what are some things you guys need to make sure you focus on and grind on so you can get that win?
You know, just discipline. You know, we got a little undisciplined there, especially when we got the major penalty, JC, but you know, just they're going to play a really slow game. We're going to play a slow game. Could be a 2-1, 2-0 game. Who knows? It's going to be a very low scoring, very, very slow game. Won't be that exciting, but somebody's going to win.
All right, well, that Impact versus Aftershock game definitely was exciting. Impact won 3-2. Congratulations.
Excellent.
Back to you guys.